welcome to another episode of Taste the World. My name is Gigi and I am from Romania. And this is my assistant, Nicole.
My name is Nicole, I'm from Colombia. And I'm gonna be helping Gigi to cook.
Something that we call Sarmale Mamaliga. I know that Mamaliga is also a dish here in Greece, but the way we do it in Romania is completely different. Sarmale is some sort of dumplings. It's basically meat and rice that we are gonna wrap in pickled cabbage. And Mamaliga is the side dish. It looks like mashed potatoes, and we serve it with some Greek yogurt on top.
Ready?
Let's start. We are going to start with the cabbage first, which we have right here. So we pickled this cabbage for 3 weeks. The rule is 1 tablespoon of salt per 1 liter of water, and you just put the cabbage in. So let's see how it looks. Okay, so now we've done all of the leaves. We have them right here, ready to be filled. We need to prepare a few more ingredients. We're going to need 2 small onions or even more, it's up to your taste. In Romania we don't really use scales when cooking, we don't measure anything. It's with the eye, with the heart. Nothing fancy. So Nicole here is going to help me with the onions, please. And as for the rest, like the scraps, the hard part of the leaf, we are going to mince them very small, and they will be on the bottom of the pan and also on the top.
In Colombia we also really don't measure anything, start with the heart and with the eye.
Maybe it's a Latin thing.
I do believe that for people who like cooking it works, but for people who doesn't, then scales and measures, that might be good.
They are useful, I'm not going to lie, but I've learned that you don't really need them. Like, not absolutely necessary.
Okay, now we get onions.
So you want to mince it small like this. And this will be on the bottom and on the top of the actual sarmale.
Onions also go small?
Yes, as small as you can.
Okay, let's see if I don't cry. There are so many tips for cutting onions, no? Like if you chew bubble gum, then you don't cry. People who wear contact lenses have told me that also they don't really cry. I always cry, like, to be honest. Let's see, probably this one's not because I'm too small.
Yeah, I don't put a lot of onion, but this recipe is definitely customizable. If you like onions a lot, you can put more. This will go in the filling with the rice and the meat. You can also put some garlic if you want, and if you're not a fan, I'm using pork today. This is the most common filling in Romania, but you can also use a combination of pork and beef. And actually we're going to make some vegetarian ones for our vegetarian volunteers here. Okay, now that the onion is minced and also the leftover cabbage, we can move on to preparing the filling. So, here we have the pan on like a medium heat. You can pour like a few tablespoons of oil, not too much. I think that's enough. Just enough to cover the bottom of the pan.
Should we go with the onion first?
Onion first always, but we need to let the oil heat up a little bit. You move the oil a little bit in the pan so that everything is covered.
Perfect. It's done?
Okay. Yeah. So we go in with the onion.
Should we fry them or like just leave it?
No, not totally. We will leave this until it gets a bit translucent, you know, like transparent. And then we are going to add, I mean, you can add as much rice as you want. And we're going to add about 2 cups. From 1 cabbage, I think we'll make about 20 or 30 sarmale. So you can just eyeball. I'm gonna put like about 2 cups.
Meanwhile, I have heard that in Romania people spit on other people. What's that? Like, can you tell us a little bit about it?
We don't spit on each other, we spit. It's actually a nice thing that we do for the others. I think this is a tradition in more than just Romania. I've heard about it in more countries. But when you see someone really beautiful on the street and you are struck by his or her beauty, or even a dog or a child, and say, wow, oh my God, so beautiful, look at those eyes. You are without intention placing like a curse on that person. We call it the oath. So in order to avoid that person getting ill from your compliment, you do.
You spit on
You
people.
but not with spit. Just
Tu.
you can do it like like
Okay.
no one has to see
People
you.
say, oh, you are so well dressed, or oh, you cook so well. You will do.
You will do.
I will do.
The one who does the
Do not
compliment.
curse you.
Yeah, do not curse me. If you curse me, I will get a headache.
Sorry. I think it's getting transparent.
Yes. You can pour in the rice now. Again, eyeball it. And you have to mix. And we are going to let the rice, it's not going to cook completely because it's obviously going to go in the oven for 2 hours. So the purpose here is to give it a little bit of that fried taste. It's going to make the whole dish more tasty. So we are going to leave it like,
rice we use, or?
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because it's going to be so long in the oven, almost all types of rice will cook. But we will leave it on this fire for about 5 minutes. Okay, so we have our fillings ready. We have here the meat and the vegetarian one. We are going to start with this. And we're going to start basically rolling and doing the sarmale. So you take the lid like this. You take a little bit of the filling. This is still a bit hot. You can let it cool down a little bit. These, in my opinion, are a little bit harder to make because the consistency in the meat is like it's glued together, but this is more
Solid.
yeah, like it crumbles easily, it goes everywhere. So basically you roll once, then you tuck the sides so that they don't spill, and then you just continue rolling. Okay, then you got the sarma. You can tuck it a bit at the end like this. I think we're gonna do here the vegetarian one to separate them. You wanna try it first?
Yes.
Go ahead. So you take the lid first.
Oops, two.
Yeah, that's enough because it's gonna get bigger in the oven. Cut the sides. Perfect.
Like a sushi.
Kind of. Good. Now you hold it and then you tuck in the ends a little bit. Like that. Okay. I'm gonna show you the meat one as well. So you take some filling. Not a lot. I kind of make this shape with my hand. And we have our first meat one. We're gonna put it separately. Okay, and now we are going to do the rest and be right back. Okay, so we are done rolling our sarmale. These are the meat ones.
And these are the vegetarian ones.
Thank you so much for your help, Nicole. And we put some shredded cabbage on the bottom of each pan. We separated them so we know which ones are which. And we're going to put some like black pepper, but this big variety. It's not mixed. It's like, do you know what it's called? Yeah, the entire bowl of pepper. So we are just gonna sprinkle some in between the sarmale. Can you sprinkle some in the vegetarian one?
I'm not really fan of pepper, so I put them.
Honestly, I am not. It gives it a nice taste, but when I eat, I always look for the pepper and I removed it. But it gives a really nice taste. Okay, and then we are going to put some cabbage on top of the sarmale. Again, shredded cabbage.
So it's kind of using all the product and not throw it away.
Yeah, we try to not throw away anything. You can squeeze a little bit when it gets to the bottom so that it's not very wet. And now we are going to fill both pots with water until it covers the sarmale. And we are going to leave this on a medium heat on the stove for about 30 minutes or until the water starts to boil. When the water starts to boil, you can put them in the oven, like a low temperature, 170, 180 degrees Celsius, and check on them every 30 minutes. So for now, let's put them on the stove. Quickly make mamaliga in the Romanian way. Nicole, have you ever had mamaliga before?
Never.
Something like polenta?
Yes.
How was it in texture?
It's like kind of a puree, mashed potato, very soft, I would say, and it's tastes like corn.
Okay. That's exactly how we make it, like soft. Some people make it more hard in Rumania, and it's tradition to cut it with string, you know, the one that you use to sew your clothes.
Okay.
They cut it with string to
So
make it
it's
more
so
hard.
perfect.
Yeah, but I like it soft, like a puree. I heard that here in Greece they make it a lot harder and with zucchini. So I never knew that. So for the Romanian mamaliga, all we need is like minced corn, some water and some salt. I already have some water here in the pot, so we can put it on the stove.
There you go.
The heat should be medium at first and we'll turn it down later.
This also to the eye, or we have some measures?
You can do about 4 cups of water for a cup of malai. Corn, sorry. In Romania we call this malai. Okay.
You got this from Romania or you bought it here?
No, I bought it here in the supermarket.
So
in
it's
Greece.
very accessible.
So, yes. What I noticed is that it's finer in texture. It looks more like a flour. In Romania it looks more like sugar.
Okay.
Just a little bit. But I'm going to eyeball this as well.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. So I put enough just to, you can mix.
Should I do it fast or slow?
No, slow but consistent.
Okay.
So for the first 5 minutes, I'm gonna also add some salt. About, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon, a smaller spoon. But again, eyeball. And you can also taste. So for the first 5 minutes, we stir consistently. And after the 5 minutes, when it starts to create this like bubbly texture on the top, we can stop stirring and we let it boil.
Okay.
For this, for mamaliga, it's good to use something that we call chaun, which is a thicker pot. And this is not ideal. It should have a very, very thick bottom so that the heat is released more slowly. But this will do it. So I think I'm just gonna add more because this is like very little mamaliga for. I'm trying to make.
But
for
this
like
is the texture.
Yes, this is the texture that you are aiming for. I'm just gonna add more corn and more water just to have more mamaliga. We have been stirring consistently in this for about 5 minutes. So now we are going to decrease the intensity of the heat, so low fire. Okay, and if you can come closer so I can show. I'm gonna do a very light layer of corn on top. This is a trick that my grandma taught me. Just a light layer. Oopsie. Good.
And we add some salt.
We did some, but we can add more. I think it makes more. Okay, so we leave it like this to boil. And we stir every 5 minutes. We check on it so it doesn't stick to the bottom. This is gonna happen for about 20 minutes. In 30 minutes this will be ready. Our tomato sauce and water mixture is ready. So I'm just gonna pour this over the sarmale. Kind of like that. And this will go back in the oven for 30 more minutes or 45 at the most, and then they are ready to be served. So our food is finally ready. Come closer so you can see. We have here the regular sarmale, the vegetarians, the polenta, and the yogurt. We just need to assemble it. So how we eat it usually is we grab a couple of sarmale. We have some polenta on the side. And then we put some yogurt on top of this all. And you can add as much yogurt as you want, but there you have it. This is my own spin on the Sarmale Mamaliga. I hope you enjoyed, and bye bye.